Closer and closer to Cloud9 versus FaZe, just moments away as they're about to slice and dice each other for side. First, I'll be picking these brains one more time. Maniac and Potter, I am your host. Machine, hi.
Hello.
Do you like that dramatic pause for effect? Who is it? Who is he? Machine. No, jokes aside, I'm killing time for no reason. We shouldn't do that. We haven't got much. Cloud9 FaZe. We've kind of painted a bit of a depressing picture for FaZe Clan during our first segment. However, you came and relinquished some faith by saying that they are, they're a team designed for one purpose. But Maniac, the map is probably going to be playing a part in that as well. Cash, where would you kind of... how would that tilt your opinion?
I think the numbers are a little bit deceiving in that regard because Cash is one of the worst FaZe map at the moment, only 30% win rate, whereas Cloud9, 50, that's the highest one. But let's take these numbers carefully. This is also internet games, so I wouldn't put much faith into it. I think we talked about pressure, we talked about emotions. That's probably the only aspect I would give to Cloud9 straight away. Because if you think about it, strat-wise, game plan-wise, Cloud9 is not going to be in a better position than FaZe, right? They are a mix, basically. Refresh just came in, Flusha is the in-game leader since 18 seconds, so you cannot give them to that. So you think, oh, maybe the individuals, but hey, you play against FaZe, you play against Nico, you play against Guardian, against Rain. So I cannot give them any points other than saying, you know what, you have no pressure. In French, we say, you have no chance, so take it. T'as aucune chance, donc prends-la. So that's how they should do it, Enjoy the fact that they are completely underdog. No matter what happens, they can have fun, and that's the only thing I can give them.
Okay, perfect. So that's a nice little point to end it on. It is two teams on very different ends of the pressure spectrum, and we're going to go ahead and turn it up a notch because it is time for the casters to shout about this game. Let's jump over to them for Cloud9 FaZe in the round 2 matchup.
Yes. Well, there's a couple of sexy beasts on our screen at least.
Yeah, well, we can see Anders and Jason is showing a lot of chest hair.
He is, but then again, he is a bit of a bear, isn't he?
Well, that's why they're the creamy bears. Anders is for obvious reasons, and Jason because he enjoys the confectionery in the face.
He does not, though. That's the thing, right? Like, eventually, I think that started to weigh on his spirit a little bit, and he started suffering quite a bit going into these tournaments. These bets that he kept taking. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think if he got immortalized on Henry's ass with that tattoo, it probably would have been one of the most historic things of all time. Maybe next year for Movember, but either way, we have MIBR versus Ninjas in Pajamas on the secondary, or I guess the B stream.
This is the B stream. We got a C stream over here as well, but this is actually the second round as well of matches. So if you're just tuning in, we've cleared the first round of matches. Things didn't go so great for NIP, who are obviously, in this match here. NIP versus MIBR is going to be in this second round, and that's what we'll be casting. But NIP and MIBR both faltered in their first round.
And that is very problematic, right? Because this format being best of ones, the fact that it is so cutthroat, if you're going to drop games, if you can't get any points on the board within that first day, you put so much pressure on yourself during that second day to play 3 consecutive matches, pick up those victories, and that's just to potentially scrape through and make it to the final. Because this format, it is best of ones. You can draw. There's no overtime. So you're trying to accumulate as many points as possible here. And last time round in Copenhagen, we had a bit of confusion, but we're going to get things underway right here as a lot of utility will be purchased on the sides of MIBR, who are looking a bit different with swag in tow. Looks like it'll just be the standard A piece and a retake coming in from NIP as you look at that lovely zoomy radar.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, are you a big fan of that, Chad? The zoomy radar, everything good there?
Well, it helps the viewer, I guess, looking in the right places. GetRight is looking in the right place. Lots of members from MIBR pushing onto that A-bomb site now. They want to attack the CT spawn, and GetRight will fall to Cold Zero.
Brutal start. He turned away from the flash as well. I had hope there for GetRight. He was performing at least on Overpass versus Navi in the first round. But Cold Zero's decided he's going to put an end to the party, or at least he tries to. Gets 2 kills before Dennis, and now Rez stepping in. So we're into a 3-on-3 retake scenario here for NIP. Dennis covering that CT side, but Swag with the headshot.
Very difficult retake right now. The kid is down in spawn, so if they can get this done, they have to be quick. Rez with a huge shot. Needs to make another one onto Fallen here. Pushes up close, and now once again, time is the enemy.
That is going to be the question here. Forrest is going to be the one. 1v2 caught in a pincer. He will find Fallen. He's got the headshot on Tarek, and he realizes he needs that kit, but obviously you're right. He has no time left to make the play, so he's going to be backing off. Rez is going to be a guy we got to keep an eye on, Chad. Yeah. He had a really rough first map of the tournament, let's say, versus Navi. Pretty much nearly ended it with 4 frags on the board.
He already tweeted as well.
Eesh.
He tweeted lol at me. So he's well aware of his underperformance. To note here, NIP, when I were looking at their stats on Overpass, they have a 0 rounds break on this second round, right? 4 Overpass. Now, if that flows into Mirage, that's a different question. But Forrest holding onto the USP, the armor, the smoke grenade, and the kit, that could come into play as the smoke will get used early over towards A-Ram. Not a great smoke by any means, bit of a gap there. But this is just a full eco, really, across the board here from the Ninjas, so it should be dealt with relatively quickly by MIBR, who have opted to go with 5 rifles. And that's the change, obviously, with the money situation. It's more like a mind game now, right? Because if the other team goes for a force buy and you buy all those rifles, then the thing is you could get absolutely melted away, lose the rifles, exchange them over, and then you have no money going to the next. If you think that they're going to go for a force buy, that's when you want to see the mix of the SMGs. You want to see a couple of rifles. This means when we get to that first gun round, NIP will have 5 rifles, and most likely that'll be the same case for MIBR.
Should be. I want to see them kind of sticking together here, so that they are protecting those rifles, and they are, well, basically you don't want anybody out on the flanks to just get overwhelmed by them, because even with USPs and P2000s, you're facing 2 or 3 of them, you're going to get run over, and then that's a rifle lost. So would like to see MIBR stay nice and tight together here, and make sure that they just keep control of the situation.
There's one thing to note as well, as this one's just going to be a bit of a mop right now. The question mark is, MIBR, as far as the rumors go, this is no longer the roster for this squad, right? This squad is changing. They already have Swag standing in for Fur, who's out for surgery. There's Taco apparently coming into this team for Liquid in change of Stewie. Zeus is going to be the new coach, and assumably Tarek will be getting the boot as well. With that in mind, MIBR, what are they playing for in this point? You know, they're not this isn't a growing point for them. This is merely in the realms of this tournament. They're just playing in a mixed format. They're just going to do either the best they can or the worst they can, in sense of, you know, how invested can they possibly be. While NIP, these guys, this is their roster. They've been climbing up and up as the years progress. They've finally fixed things. This event probably means a lot to them.
Well, they put an extra week of work of prac into this tournament as well, just in preparation. We heard that earlier, I believe from Forrest, going into the first round of matches. That, yeah, it's right. They haven't been able to qualify for some of these LAN tournaments that have been going on that MIBR has been attending, and so they're left with an extra week of work, an extra week of pressure. You know, if other teams that are coming out of these chain tournaments, they're just like, oh, just another tournament, you know, keep going with the flow, whereas NIP have had time to kind of dwell on things. We'll see if that turns to their advantage or not, because they've got some room to make up for, obviously, now, after the rocky start versus DC.
Well, the timing here is Lecro. They've obviously left the B-bomb side open. It's just a contact play coming out from MIBR. They're going to get site control relatively free, killing Forrest over on that cat position, and now Lecro, with all the work to do, he's going to be quickly dispatched of, and interesting little fake there. Sold NIP up the river, and their best option right now is to save. This isn't a round that you really want to get stuck into, considering you do have a kit on res, but you're in a 4-on-2 situation. You don't have a lot of utility, and you don't really have anybody close enough to that bomb site to make an impact. I say that. Fallen will offer up his life.
This feels a little bit like Overpass as well, just from NIP. Really hoping that they're going to be able to shake this off. What we saw there from Lecro seems like some indecision, not quite sure who's covering what or what's going on in the situation once it came to action. So he just gets shot on the side without knowing which way to look. That's unpleasant. Dennis will find, well, Stewie looking the wrong way, speaking of. So they are making this expensive for MIBR. Yeah. I'd like to see that for NIP, but still, NIP not on the board.
And it's not really enough, right? Obviously, the loss bonus is going to accumulate quicker with that new economy change for NIP until they win a round, and then we'll go back to the $1,400 after the first round loss. But with those guns saved, they are actually going to be able to drop a couple of rifles over. Someone's getting excited. We can hear next door. Whatever's going on next door, I want to see that.
How does that work? Oh, there's just, okay, it's just a door there. That's why I was like, how in the hell are we hearing?
We have
super cinder blocks right now.
Sonic hearing.
Yeah, that must be it, exactly. Hearing the hype get real over there. So hopefully we'll get some opportunities for some hype here in this match. Gotta put those guys on notice too. You can't just let them dominate here.
Dennis is lucky to get away with his life there with that mid push. He will spot up some players and then has to barrel on backwards as the nades come through. And finally an opening for NIP. This feels like they're actually in a round. Forrest is going to land a dunk nade there. And drop down Swag. And now it slows. Utility still in the favor of MIBR in this situation.
Was kind of hoping, well, obviously tournament's not over yet. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
This is the home team, MIBR, right?
Yeah, I'm like, I know MIBR, but it's also like Swag. Really excited to see him play. Always a fan. But, you know, he didn't exactly have the strongest start in this tournament, and I'm wondering if that's due to the role that he's playing, because it seems like he's kind of getting thrown out there for info, or he's getting the unsavory roles right now. So I'm hoping that he's going to be able to at least step up and play individually at some point here for MIBR. But we do lose Swag early in this round at least, so NIP will be operating with a man advantage, looking good. It means that MIBR are going to be working together here, and it's looking like it's going to wind up on A with 40 seconds left. So should have the setup coming up nice and neat. Bit limited on the smokes, only the single one here on Fallen, so they're going to have to get this done the dirty way.
Oh, look at Gerrit, just jiggle peeking, posturing. That smoke's going to drop. He's going to buy time. They are going to push the smoke. Flash will come over. He's completely blinded. Tarek's going to find the kill. Now, Rez from afar, he misses as well, and we saw that in the first game. They were just missing some absolute sitters, offered up kills time and time again. Bomb will go down. You have to save. Another round in the bank for MIBR. And, well, I guess maybe I can go back on saying I think the Ninjas in Pajamas are going to win this tournament. We're 4 rounds into game 2. I didn't say that. Someone delete the VOD.
Did we curse it? I mean, it is at the very beginning of the show. You said it within the first 30 seconds. Nobody was watching yet, Chad. Don't worry.
I could have said nothing.
I mean, maybe you got the curse going, you know? You're a caster now. You got to take that into account.
See, I don't normally believe in the jinxes because, you know, it's all a mental game.
Sure.
But right now, Ninjas are not looking to crash hot at all. There was a lot of missed shots, right, within that first matchup that we saw. There were definitely a chance against Na'Vi. There was lots of opportunities. And here it just feels like whatever MIBR are doing, they're committing to it, right? They're not... We've only had 2 gun rounds at this point, but they've been very decisive, right? They've actually hit a site, they've traded off each other, they haven't been lost in limbo. Some of the issues with them when they were playing with Fur at the EPL finals, especially on maps like Inferno, everything was left so late, and that was causing a lot of confusion. But the max round loss bonus will come in, and NIP can string together 3 straight gun rounds. So they're being competitive in the buy, at least.
They are. They've got quite a bit of utility as well. Get right once again going to the MP9, so we'll see how that pans out for him. It didn't really look hot there. But Get Right at least was performing well on Overpass. The only problem is you were looking for the rest of his team, and those guys were still stuck in Stockholm. I don't know. Didn't really manage to make the flight over to Lisbon. But as far as this start is concerned, Nip, this is going to be the round to get something done here. Stewie going to apply a little bit of pressure over here on the B side with the help of Swag.
It's another fake.
I love it. Oh yeah, it is another fake, but I do being able to love to say that, you know, Stewie and Swag
just scrimming off each
together.
other. Yeah.
Let's go, boys. Get in there. Straight pug life.
This looks like it's going to be a double pump, considering the bomb is now congregating over towards B apps, and there's still enough smokes in the hands of Fallen, Tarek, and Cold Zero to pull this off. So the idea in this situation is you want to bait out as much utility, you know, and hopefully lure them in.
Marco going for the bit of the jump peek. So let's see. Forrest isn't too far away on short to help things out if he needs to. They have no info in mid right now, though, so that's going to be hindering NIP a little bit. Looks like they just want to try and take a bit of a gamble almost. Dennis has rotated over towards A with Rez and Get Right, but the push has already begun here. Onto the B side. Lekro caught in the corner, and again, he's just caught completely unawares. So Lekro's having the worst time over here on the B site.
Safe again? What is going on?
They're getting wrecked. I mean, Forrest can't even find a way out. He makes his way to top mid, unsuspecting, I guess. Like, yeah, this is brutal. I feel like, all right, going into this, right, you're thinking, well, at least Get Right's got to find an AK, so good on him. But is the structured team the one with the advantage going up against the puggy team? But right now, we're not seeing that at all. It feels like Nip are just getting caught unawares completely every time.
And this doesn't feel scrimmy, right? This doesn't feel like MIBR just doing a default and trying to play. What they're actually doing is having some very unique fakes coming out here. They've done 2 fakes. They did it on the first gun round, and now here on the 3rd gun round, they've done fakes to bait out utility. They're well aware that NIP are low on that utility factor, and then they're just re-hitting the bomb sites. And Lekro, once again, obviously before he was in transition, this time round, he had no idea that Stewie could have swung that wide.
Oh yeah, Stewie was way out there. Lekro, I mean, he's not even looking. Doesn't even seem to be aware of the fact that there's somebody on his screen. This, the follow-up from Stewie, as clean as it gets. Dennis also having a bit of a cold start here to the tournament.
This is not the way you want to be ending your year if you are an NIP fan. Things were looking on the up and up, but...
Could we be seeing a change of pace here coming in from MIBR? Everybody's stacked together over here on the A side of things very early on in the round. No mid or B presence at all from them.
And look how many members NIP are dedicating towards middle, even though they've established mid control. This is just going to be an A pounce, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on Dennis on this bomb site. It's just a lurk out.
Yeah, he might actually have a bit of a rough time here. He could get caught in the open. He has no idea that Stewie's out. Hit. He wins the duel versus Tarek. Instantly pounced on by Stewie, though, so MIBR should be happy with that result. And now Stewie just cleaning house. 2 kills for him. Cold Zero finds a shot on Rez. And yeah, Stewie's just out for more. Going for the duel straight up with Forrest. Will not find the kill, but he does the damage.
It's like the Terminator music's playing as Stewie's just roaming into the bomb site. Dun 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 dun.
Oh, dude, that's why they wouldn't let him wear the shades. Oh, that could have been a twofer.
Well, at least things are looking explosive and, I guess, highlight reel material from MIBR, who, look, with the two Portuguese members, well, not Portuguese, with the two Portuguese-speaking members of the team, Fallen and coldzera, they're the closest thing to a home team we have here in Lisbon. So I'm sure the crowd is going to be on their feet for when these guys are getting it done. If they can continue form like this throughout this match and tomorrow, exciting signs.
I like it. I'm
doing
to follow that logic. I'm
doing my best. I'm doing my best.
So when Cloud9 were still a North American team playing in London, you're just like, well, yeah, they're kind of a home team here because we definitely don't have a British team. So, well, I mean, Cloud9 no longer the North American hope and dream, especially in this tournament so far. But that's on another stream if you're a Cloud9 fan. Remember, these matches are getting played simultaneously, so you can watch them play. Be sure to check out the other streams here. Was that a dig at the beginning?
Lecro for what he's known for. The standard Lecro bailout there. In a lot of matches I've watched, Lecro's been one of the big impact players for NIP when they have had victories over teams who are better than them. In this environment, you would say that NIP, just because they're an actual roster, should be the favorite. And here it's not the case, and nobody is really standing out. Lecro's going to get another chance with the Deagle to find the head of the opposition this time around. He's just going to be put on 6 HP, forced to scamper back, and Get Right has another free passage. He's done this before, and I think this time they know what's up. And Fallen well to aware.
Especially considering the fact that Fallen had 29 HP. That was possible there for Get Right with the CZ to pick him, but Fallen not the one to get caught off guard. So tough. Got the Brain CS downloaded. 4 versus 2, anti-eco. So MIBR should be wrapping this up nice and neat. Ideal world is they don't lose anybody now and just keep their economy growing. It is getting a bit out of control over there.
Yeah, they're set like a jelly. I don't know if that's a saying that's common in the rest of the world. I don't know. It actually that saying doesn't make sense.
I mean, it does make sense in a way, I guess.
Because set like a jelly is not stable. Because jelly wobbles.
But yeah, but then at least it's set so it maintains its shape somewhat, right?
Yeah.
You know, unless it's a hot room, I guess, and then everything is lost. But
how good's jelly? I haven't had jelly in a while.
Jelly?
I think I like
what
green,
kind of jelly though?
Green jelly. I think Americans call jelly is what we would call jam in Australia.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like.
You're talking about Jello.
Yes.
Or like pudding.
Like Jello, yeah, but we
like
call
Jello.
it jelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we call it Jello.
Okay.
Because we're big fans of brands in the States. I don't know if you picked up on
all right.
that. But,
like Eggo's waffles.
Kleenex, exactly. Right. Xerox, even though those things don't exist anymore. So. It would work. Hey, Dennis going to work, though. Stewie picked off. He was going for a little bit of a hunt there at pit. Does manage to find something for himself, though. That's Dennis shutting down.
Yeah, it feels like they're just letting Stewie do whatever he wants, right? There's been a couple of rounds where he's just kind of
Listen, I'm all about the young Stu getting in there, finding kills, and Get Right. Well, we saw some of this level from him on Overpass. Glad to see that that's continuing at least here. He does manage to get a pick of his own, and it's looking highly likely now that Nip will finally get on the board in this match. It's 7-0 in favor of MIBR.
One would have thought that their comeback late against Na'Vi would have trickled across into this one here, but just another slow start, and this time around feels like they just have their foot on the brakes because nothing's going their way. Fallen with the AWP, if he swings, will find Dennis waiting in tow. It's just a game of timing right now.
Do you feel like it's a bit too much of standard as standard could be here from NIP? Because, I mean, all right, there is you can have the structure from the fact that you are a roster that works together. coldzera will be there to trade that frag. Dennis barely missing that shot on Fallen, though. Never count Fallen out of these sorts of situations. He is the king of clutch when it comes to these off-clutch plays. But Lecro with the shot, and Rez will shut it down. So
there we go.
I mean, do you think that this is affecting Nip in a way? If they play too standard, I mean, MIBR should be able to capitalize on that, considering... Well, considering the fact that Nip can't exactly predict the way that MIBR are going to play.
Yeah, exactly that, right? The fact of prep goes completely out of the window. These vetoes are done well in advance, so you would look towards tendencies. You'd be trying to focus on different ways to disrupt this roster. First of all, Swag coming in, unknown quantity right there. We know that he's a fantastic player, but how is the team dynamic going to change? And then with all the roster rumors about this Taco situation, it changes once more. And speaking of Swag, he's going to get dinked through the smoke, 14 points of health, and He'll just fall to the AWP of Forest, as it was going to be a pace change coming out, but it's been stifled and slowed in its tracks, as now they're just going to have to posture around middle. Rez tries to beat the smoke. He does, but Fallen is too quick on the trigger, and now we have ourselves in a 4v4, and Bogdan's rule comes into play.
Oh, I like that they go for the swap as well. Get that AWP on the low HP target, let coldzera play around his teammates who are a bit beefier. And now they managed to bring the situation back here in MIBR. So things are shaping up nicely for them. Minute on the clock as well, plenty of time, but they're very light on the utility. Although, you want to say that, but the last time they were in an pretty much exact same situation, they won the round and just crushed Nip. So, let's see, get right. Oh, he's looking the wrong way.
Dear. That could have been the kill that really let the A-bomb site fall like dominoes, but if they're able to put another round on the board here, they can start building a bank. If they lose too many players, though, that's when the reset comes in.
Not going to happen this time, Fallen. Going for the jiggle pick. Oh, coldzera, though, trades it right back. Solid work. Only a man advantage now for NIP. Forrest has found an op for himself, though, and he will take advantage of it. Tyrek is out, and now it's on coldzera, 1v3. Needs to hit some shots, but it's Lekro who's going to get the job done. 7-2. Nip actually chaining rounds together, Chad.
Well, this is positive signs, that's for sure. And everybody quite even fragging right now for NIP. Rez sitting at the top at 5. Get right, Forrest, Dennis all on 5 kills, and Lekro with 4. So at least they're getting it done as a team. On the other side of things, coldzera with 11 kills. Stewie is the second on the scoreboard with 7. Everyone else sitting around 5 and 4 kills, respectively. So the double AWP setup seems to be the key for the Ninjas right now. Forrest wielding one and Dennis on the other. As it look like another quick towards middle play going to come in there. Window smoke, cat smoke. Utility over towards connector to hold the player at bay, and then the flash comes out. So much damage done through the smoke. Rez isn't going to know that, so even though we can see Fallen is peppered on down to 22 points of health, it's going to be unknowing.
Tough break there for Rez. Single headshot there through the smoke. It's just luck of the draw there at that point if you're going for a spray and pray. But he will not find anything there. MIBR, though, happy to look for the picks. Fallen, I mean, if anybody's going to get lit, it's fine being Fallen because he's still the op. So ideal world is he's still just taking that shot, winning that duel, and ending it. Well, let's see. As the smoke clears, there may be a chance for him here. He's getting in position now. We'll see if Lekro is going to get lucky this time or once again going to get caught looking the wrong way. That would be unfortunate for him. Demoralizing, and oh, the leg shot comes through. Not getting the angle quite right there, Fallen. But let's see. Swag steps up to the plate. Come on.
Batter up.
Let's go. Swag is capable.
Forrest, if he jumps up, he could be absolutely destroyed right here.
Yeah, Swag has no idea, of course. He's expecting somebody to be playing conservatively. But if Forrest takes a single jump, he's going to spot out Swag, who has no idea that somebody's holding close. Oh, this nade could be money, though. Ooh. Not going to do it, though. I think it's going to go sailing right past Lekro's shoulder. And that was on the other side. Dennis just going to work right now. Get right, punishing Tariq, who's trying to trade the kill. And that's the bomb down on the A site now out in the middle of nowhere, and Swag left with 10 seconds left on this clock. This could be the turning point for Nip.
Yeah, he has to save, but he's being hunted. Look how close Get Right is. He might take his head off here. Won't hit the shot, but now as the clock trickles down, Get Right can wait until it goes to 0 and then push. Molotov to hold him in bay. And Swag, he's just going to survive. Playing the corner very well. He was getting circled in from both sides. Now this is the question mark. There is enough money on the board to buy behind this AWP if they really want to, right? coldzera can get an AK up. You know, Tariq can get an AK head armor. Stewie can get himself a UMP or a CZ, something along those lines. That AWP can get dropped across to Fallen. Fallen can drop a Galil or something of the like. So if they want to buy,
the pug approach.
Yeah, that is definitely a possibility. But let's think about what they were doing early that was working. It was a lot of those fakes, right? They did that fake over towards the A-bomb site, pulled a lot of rotators, and then ended up walking 3 players into B. They did similar scenes on their second gun round. So the transition from that, if I was, you know, doing the in-game leading, would be we can just do an execute early and hit a bomb site, right? Yeah. The utility has now been, you know, built up, so the smoke molly defense from NIP can come in here. But if you hit a bomb site, the players on the extremities of the map are going to be a little bit more reluctant to rotate. They're going to need good information, and if MIBR are able to get one entry onto the site, the delay of that rotation may be more than enough, and it will just be a pistol upgrade behind the AWP, which Swag will hold on to. So I haven't gone all in just yet.
Not quite. They're actually playing it fairly calmly here at MIBR. Look at this, Stewie. Stewie just charging straight in, no respect, cuts him in half. Will go for the peek, though, gets greedy at Forrest there with the op. Swag will trade it versus Dennis, though. Man advantage now for MIBR. Get right, gets spotted. And just like that, it's all falling apart for NIP. 2 kills, well, 2 left of them alive at least, but they're gonna get overwhelmed. You're done. Fallen just runs over Forest.
This is vintage Stewie. This is back when I was still playing Counter-Strike, and he was coming up the ranks, and he just would push smokes. He'd be hyper aggressive. He'd really make your life a bit of a living hell, and he's doing that for the Ninjas in Pajamas and all their fans around the world right now, because 1 kill, 1 gap, that's all they needed, and they punished. Oh, hold on to that Lekro if you can, mate. Good luck.
Does he realize he has no way of knowing that Tarek is right above him? Oh, never mind.
Tarek was the elephant in that equation, wasn't he?
Head shot. Fallen not going to find him. Swag will survive. 2 AWPs now for MIBR going into this next round. And a bunch of cards. Be sure to pick yours up as well. They will be up. Exactly. Epics.gg. Could pick up some of the Blast Pro Series cards. Start collecting them. Get your favorite players. But my favorite player right now, at least from this round, was Stu.
Yeah, that's all it was, though. It was only 1 kill, but I think the fact of the matter was he did that within the first 20 seconds of the round. That's what's the most impressive thing. It was just the standard mid-smoke, and he's been able to evade with speed.
This is where you can see that MIBR are starting to adapt to Get Right's playstyle as well. That was a regretful smoke. That was a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, I think he was predicting the Molotov to land connector, right? He wanted to extinguish that one, but not to be. As this is just going to be the A hit, so this could be the transition I was talking about.
But they're starting to pick up on the fact that Get Right keeps holding close. And that's, again, Get Right just getting punished. If he keeps holding in these positions, it seems like MIBR are starting to catch on to that. They're finding that kill. So the nade's already going through. Very quick execute. And sure enough.
I can't help but laugh, I'm sorry. You can just see it as the player cam's on. He's calling for flashes. The fact that the Stewie push is always going to come in. And once again, one opening, as you're mentioning, they're isolating Get Right time and time again. The trade potential really isn't there with that position. And that's because most CT teams want to go for a mid lane, right? You have 2 options. You play retake from Ticket, or you have a guy close and do his absolute best. Well, Get Right's absolute best right now is not enough.
Buddy, this is uncharacteristic from Cold. Missing some shots. Fallen, though. He'll live up to his reputation. 2 kills for him. Still alive. Spots the guy on Ticket. Takes a bullet to the face, but he survives.
Oh, no.
Even with the knife. All right, Fallen's on a tear right now. He's delivering from earlier. When I was calling him out a little bit, like, Fallen, always the man in the clutch. Well, here you go. There you go. Example of it right there. Fallen 3 kills and all of the money.
At least we're getting a little bit of chaos, and that's always entertaining. Look at Stewie. Just through the smoke. Flash for me, boys. I'm going in.
Oh, man. Rez just not getting caught on that one. I love it. Gets the knife in there, too. I could have swore he was going to get that shot there.
It did get very close that round, all things considered. I thought after that opening kill and the fact that they got the A-bomb site very quickly, it would have been done and dusted. Now, we did talk about the transition to just going into executes from the fakes earlier. They've broken the economy, but when you get into the next gun round, you can continue the same thing, because now the mind game is, well, are they just executing on us, or are they going for the fake like earlier? So that trick is now up the sleeve of Fallen and co, as they look to just have a round that should be a bit of a mop, right? There's not too many upgraded pistols coming in. There is a Zeus board for Lekro right now. That knife's an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got the stiletto there. Or no, it's like a stiletto. What is it?
I'm really not big on skins. I'm not going to lie.
I have no idea. I mean,
it is called the stiletto.
The switchblade. It's like a stiletto switchblade. It's pretty sick. What's also sick is just the decision making they're never going to have to come up with in the next round.
The fast speed rush.
Let's go.
This is where the Zeus could come into play from Lekro. Not going to land. We could have had a knife followed by a Zeus, but we're not going to get gifted that. It's almost Christmas. Maybe that'll come soon.
You can tell time has passed, Chad. Oh. Surprise!
What's going on in this game? So many corners are being overlooked. It's not the way that we normally expect it to go down by any means, but it's entertaining, that's for sure.
People change, you know. There's a time where I'd have been like Lekro, for sure, using the Zeus. I can't believe it. A taser, really, have you no shame. And now I'm kind of disappointed that he missed it, so, you know.
That new HE noise that Valve have introduced to the game since the Danger Zone update, it's quite confronting in the beginning. When they change, I remember when they changed all the sounds, you know, a couple of years back. It was like, it takes a while to get used to, because you become so accustomed to this stuff. When I heard that grenades, and I was like, oh, hold up a second. Is that a new item?
Bomb?
Yeah. What have they done?
I legit thought it was a bomb going off at some point. Like, did I miss like the beeping? Is something wrong with my game? Is the round going? Yeah, the round's still going. Like, but you know, we will adjust.
This is crunch time right now, though, for the Ninjas. It's 10-3, and they are on the CT side with only 3 rounds. They need to convert and grab 5. If they lose this one right here, money back in the bin. And they're going to be stewing. This could be a quick play right here. These smokes are going to hit the B bomb site very quickly. Swag is going to be leading the charge with AK-47 in hand. This looks like the whole fake scenario again that we saw earlier. Look at this. Bait out utility, throw the nades, have the presence.
And slowly but surely rotate off, and Forrest getting caught out in the open. Beautiful work. You saw Rez just hightailing it through CT, trying to get over towards that B side as quickly as possible to back that girl up. Forrest doubting himself for an instant, and that's all the opening that MIBR needed. Now Fallen can take the peek. Man, he can't get much closer than that. Get right now. Now he's got the advantage. He's at that angle, and Fallen going to be on him here to hit this shot as he goes around if he wants to. Looks like he is going to be setting up for it, though. Dennis and Get Right with a bit of a double play here in connector. And now it's about the time to hit the shot. Get Right gets legged. We'll be able to back off. Tarek looking to capitalize. Gets punished by Dennis. This is going well here for NIP so far. Shot is in, though, and Dennis will convert. He finds the kill, and now Rez able to really make him pay for it. MIBR down to Swag, 1v3. But 2 players are low on NIP side of things here, so there's still a chance for Swag to come through for the Brazilian team.
Definitely doable. Swag at this level, they haven't been playing for some time. He's going to find the first, and now he has the 2 low HP players.
And he knows there's one on short. He knows that there's going to be one coming from Kitchen, but the pre-fire from Get Right. There you go. Legend in play.
Look, we did see on that overpass game to open things up, Get Right having some phenomenal impact kills with the rounds they were able to garner in that first half. Here, able to do it again, and I spoke about the importance of them getting 5. The fact that it went down to only 2 members, that means the pressure is on the economy. It is the last round. They are going to have to buy. They're going to have to scrape together all their pennies from the piggy bank. And it looks like they have a relatively decent buy. I can see 2 M4s, an AK-47, an AWP, and then whatever Rez is going to be able to salvage from the ground.
That's a tough one from Cold. I guess he's expecting Fallen to have that angle covered. But, no, that was just pure class from Get Right. I'm loving the pre-fire.
Yeah.
Just like, yep. Are you going to try and take this duel?
Look at this kid.
Hey, here we go, Stewie. I like it. Bit of the vintage, but unfortunately for him, he's not expecting Dennis.
But he has an opening, right? They're coming into trade, and the remainder of the players are ready and raring to go from MIBR. Look at this. The rampage continues. Swag and Tarek chiming in. Lekro last alive. 4 players remain, and this is going to be a rough one. The Ninjas again back against the wall, and that's the half.
Just like that, making it as clear as day. It's like, you know what? We have the answer, Sponge. Just get more firepower. More firepower.
And run at them.
More headshots. That's all it is at this point, as far as MIBR are concerned. Nearly all of them are in double digits on the kills. Didn't quite catch who was on single still, but yeah, MIBR right now, that's about as good as you can get on first half Mirage. Now they get to go on to CT side, and we go into the pistol and see what NIP have in store for us. NIP, it really couldn't be a worse start for them in the tournament.
No, and the fact of the matter is, we touched on it once, we'll touch on it again. These guys coming into this, they had a little bit more prep time than everybody else, right? FaZe were in a similar boat, but they're in a position right now where there are rumors. There are definitely rumors circulating about them potentially having a roster change. With that in mind, with playing a little bit of the detective, for this event for them, it's not a tune-up event, or it's not like a icing on the cake event. They've had just a year of heartbreak. They lost to Cloud9 at the start of the year in the major. Olaf was out for a very long period of time. They won tournaments with stand-ins. They looked good with stand-ins. Olaf came back. Things didn't work out the way they were meant to. They went to the next major. Things once again, it wasn't the worst showing in the world, but FaZe Clan are built to be the best team in the world, and they just haven't lived up to that hype in the later stages.
Not for quite some time, you're right. Considering the pedigree of some of those players on there, legendary players in their own right. Olaf Meister, the God Guardian on there.
We're winning the race, by the way, Samuel. We're ahead of everybody else.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
Cloud9 versus FaZe is ahead of us.
Oh, really?
Damn.
What's the score?
11-7 in favor of FaZe.
Oh, those are some fast rounds then in that case. Holy hell. I mean, this hasn't been a particular... Well, no, never mind. MIBR did run a few rounds all the way down the distance, so yeah. I can see it. I can see it.
I guess the big one as well is Astralis versus Na'Vi. That's top 2 teams from the top 3 in the world right now going toe-to-toe. And Astralis continuing their form. 10-4 up on the T side of Inferno as we get stuck in this pistol round. Will just be the standard A play. 3 players out of Palace. Smokes will land. And they're going to fight CT. Similar things as what we saw in the first half.
Stewie, not quite going to get the body block there on the nade. Swag in position on Firebox though. Oh, what a clean headshot to start things off. And a second. Swag, what a start. 2 big kills for him. MIBR, they're thankful that they've got him standing in right now if he's going to hit shots like that. Well, leaves it down here to the rest of NIP to defend it, but man advantage. Kit still in play here for MIBR. They've got a little bit of extra time to work with. Fallen will find the point-blank headshot on Rez. Get right in Forest. Last 2 alive here for NIP. Forest doing some damage, but it's not enough. They're running out of time. Halfway there on the bomb, and, well, Get Right's going to be the only one here left alive, and it's not going to be for long. Excellent work from MIBR, and really Swag, just show it. I mean, this is the thing. He can be a bit of a secret weapon in terms of stand-ins.
Sure.
He's got that firepower.
The thing with this kid is, right, obviously we all know the circumstance that unfortunately he'll never have the opportunity to play in a major ever again. But when this team was on the up and up, when the iBuyPower situation was almost in full force, they would have definitely been the most dominant team within North America. Obviously things didn't go down that way. Swag's still been playing more in a puggy environment ever since, has played for a couple of teams here, there and everywhere. But the potential of this kid at the time was seen to be one of the most impactful players, or maybe Stewie before Stewie existed.
Yes, no, but there could have been an argument for Swag being one of the best players, if not the best player in the world at the time.
Sure.
Way back then.
Yeah, he was zoned in.
He was up there with those just insane impact plays. And yeah, the potential was crazy. Yeah, that was.
It's an unfortunate story, right? It's one of a bit of a disaster.
Yeah, a bit of a downer to think about.
It must be a tough realization to have that when your dream is to compete at the highest level. But he's getting a chance to play with MIBR against the best in the world here in Lisbon. So that's a fantastic opportunity for the kid, and he appears to be grabbing it with both hands and showing us he's still got it.
No, he's still a beast. He's still a beast, and I've always wanted to see this as well. Stewie and Swag on the same team, just monstrous what they're capable of. And well, right now, NIP are getting to experience that firsthand. Everybody on MIBR, you know, we're talking a lot about Swags too, but everybody's, you know, almost in double digits now, pretty much. I think there's still one, like Tarek, I think perhaps is the one who's still on single, but
yeah, Tarek on 9.
But he's not that far, right?
Yeah, it's a team effort, that's for sure.
Lowest guy's at 12, he's at 9. In fact, yeah, he's still getting some work done. Old Sarah opening things up. 1-for-1 trade though, so that's not going to go exactly how he planned it. Could have a quick connector play here from NIP though. They are gaining some territory, but the bomb is on short, and it's looking like Rez is in position now to open things up here perhaps for the Ninjas.
Oh, looks like the bomb will pivot back towards the top of the mid. So they do have 55 seconds left on the clock. They can still go to either bomb site, but this forward position right now by Tarek is instrumental. When he spots the early players, that's the canary in the coal mine. You can see player number 5, which is Swag in CT spawn right now, could rotate very quickly, and a fast flank from Fallen. There's that positioning. He gets the call, but gets absolutely decimated by Forest, and now the B hit is on.
Yeah, brilliant shot from Forest. There we go. Bit of a vintage from him. Rez to eliminate Stewie immediately. That's the B side open for business here, and the Ninjas will find a bomb plant. So Fallen and Swag, the last 2 alive, and well, he still got Swag alive. Let's go. Will he be able to find a kit to give him a little bit more working room? Fallen just run onto the site on the bomb, die, and so Fallen, you know, then Swag can pick up that kit. But there we go. Fallen finds the headshot on Forest. 2-on-2 retake now, still with some time to work with. Fallen will not win that duel. So close versus Rez. Get right alive, and Swag can't get it done. Both players survive for NIP in the end, and that's a 5th round on the board for the Ninjas.
So this here is where the new money system becomes the cruelest mistress that you ever may meet, because you win the pistol, you think, well, we're looking pretty bloody good. You lose the following, and now you drop back down to the $1,400 loss bonus. So you find yourself in a position. Do we force buy? Do we fight? Do we contend? And that is the option that MIBR are opting for here. Stewie will get himself a scout. There will be some deagles picked up in the hands of Tarek Cold Zero. P250 for Fallen and Swag is taking the big old save there. Look at this push straight into apps. So much information gathered very quickly. They will have heard that, and Lecro wants to grab the slack.
Yeah, Lecro exactly positioning himself here. If anybody gets greedy, could be possible from Fallen's side, but Lecro's stomping as well. Fallen was close enough to hear that, so a bit of information here for MIBR as well. Could really be pushing in, but Dennis is ready and waiting for this. He's protecting his teammates' backs as they set up for the nades. You're not going to be able to capitalize on that just quite yet there, MIBR. They will get the info, though, and succeed in backing off. Still a 5-on-5, though, for both of these teams as we approach the minute mark. And, well, NIP, name of the game is patience for them, it seems, right now.
I think that was really good apps push with the noise because it slowed them down. I don't know if they realized that there are deagles and a scout in play. Those tags could be more than enough to pull this round away from NIP, who are opting for the A attack. Now they're going to use the utility, try and clear out the close corners. Nade's going to do a big chunk of damage, but now with 48 seconds left, I was going to say the pressure's on, but doesn't seem that way.
Oh, that was brutal. Let's go. Cold looked like he was going to get that shot, but Dennis will win it first. And Get Right finds the headshot on Tarek, so we will have NIP closing the gap just a little bit further here. Should be getting a 6th round on the board. 30 seconds left, and there's the bomb plant. Leaves it down to Stewie, who should definitely be saving.
If he can, that's the problem right now in CT spawn. He's going to have a hard time getting away. Opting for the jump scout, turning back the ears, seeing if he can... Oh, he did actually tag there. We'll get the kill. Any damage he can do is great, but MIBR are going to have to opt for their full eco in the next round, right? They have to let their loss bonus accumulate to a point where they will be able to afford decent weaponry, and that is not just yet because the most money on the board is Swag with 3,500. So one more eco round, or just maybe a light pistol upgrade for MIBR. That's going to give NIP 7, most likely. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Anything's possible as Counter-Strike, but most likely it should be 7 rounds on the board for the Ninjas.
You are kind of rooting for the Ninjas, though, right?
Well, I just thought, you know, looking at the narrative, looking at the way that everything's been playing out, that they would come into this tournament very hungry, and maybe they are, maybe too hungry.
This has been the name of the game for them for ages now, though, right? It's all in the mind. It's all trying to rebuild the confidence, trying to get that ability to just dominate back. And you see glimpses of it every now and again, especially from the likes of Forrest and Garrett, right? Forrest in particular has been performing well-ish for NIP, but it's so difficult. And well, we will have a hard eco coming in here pretty much for MIBR, but a nice collapse, a nice stack in mid. 2 quick kills for them. Dennis will snuff Fallen, though, so only a man advantage. coldzera has picked up an M4, though, so he's got some tools to work with here.
Player inside could swing and probably get a kill right now on Dennis, but he's staying modest. And over the top they go. coldzera, the man with the M4, is going to get the kill, and the USPs are still doing damage. Another gun's been salvaged now. Get Right in a 1-on-2 is going to get taken down by Stewie, and that's 4 silenced USP kills in the round from MIBR, taking it out of the hands of the Ninjas. I said it should have been 12-7. Definitely spoke well and truly too soon. That's 13 on the board, money in the bin, and probably game over.
Do I need to remind you how the caster curse works?
I'm still learning, all right? I don't realize the power that I have.
Yeah, dude, clearly. You're making it really difficult for NIP here, chat. Already, you know, like predicting them to win the tournament out the gates, predicting them to win rounds now.
Yikes.
That's so painful, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Excellent stack in mid from MIBR. That's the big thing. You know, they get the 2-man advantage, and then they don't let go from that point forward. So super solid work from them, and that's really going to put them within range here of shutting NIP out, because now the tables have turned, and it's NIP who are the ones who are having to really tap into the bank.
You know what I think is really cool, especially for an in-game leader? This kind of thing, having a stand-in, means you have to improvise a little bit more, right?
Sure.
And maybe Stewie's throwing in some calls, maybe coldzera's doing the same. Tarek could also be. But let's just assume that it is Fallen doing the lion's share, right, of calling right now. The really cool thing about being an in-game leader and getting to do that is it makes you improvise on the fly. And all these ideas that you have, you know, while you're sitting down having a shower. Well, I don't know how many people sit in the shower.
Yeah.
But
usually
they come. Well, that's usually me. But it comes to you, and then getting to use it in this environment and different plays that you've been toying with. That's a cool way to experiment, right? And Fallen is going to open things up to Lecro.
If anybody should have an understanding of how to take advantage of individuals like Swag, should be Fallen. Playing some of the best in the world, and well, I can't be so gross to say that Swag is up there, but Swag is definitely a threat. Man advantage, though, that was Fallen, the man in question, opening things up. So man advantage for MIBR. NIP on the back foot right now, and really just kind of swinging for the fences because they've invested everything into this round and they need to get some value out of it. But Stewie 2K continues his reign of terror. Bullet to the face of Rez. Tarek has been patiently holding this angle forever now. And just as the peak is going to come through, he's going to start backing off, it looks like. Oh, maybe not. Let's see. Let's see.
Forest may have heard that scope. He's going to step. He's not going to actually get the kill. Tarek's able to stand strong. Gets almost a second. The tag is on Dennis is there, but coldzera is here. He's going to mop this one up, isn't he?
Yeah, he's already in position. GetRight's expecting him to be in kitchen right now. And GetRight's going to walk right out into the open. No, does mind his angles. But that's the bomb dropping down. Baits a response, and that response is the quick death of GetRight. coldzera finds that, and it's all on Dennis now. Basically going to be backing off, and it looks like he wants to just try and save this AWP. Give them something to work with in this next round. 10 seconds left. And all he can do really is hope to hold on to it. That's a bit nasty. Where do they GetRight? They had a second op. Okay, well, Swag will find that kill anyways, and they will save that second op. So they do maintain the double op setup here on MIBR.
So that was a force buy, right, from NIP to scrape together that mismatch, right? The fact is now their backs are so far against the wall that they have to force buy again. Lekro, the in-game leader, he's already opted to buy all in with that CZ. Obviously, they're going to get the loss bonus going into the next, but it's just not enough, right? When they should have won a round, they didn't, and now things have fallen apart. We can see Yanko sitting on the ground having a bit of a clap.
He was sitting too? You're right.
I think he was, yeah. I wonder if he's doing cross legs. Like you are in school.
Looked like a bit of a crouch. Tarek, though, there it is. Opening yet again, that baits it out. They're going for the B rush, and it's not panning out. It's turning into a duck hunt. Tarek midair picks Forest off. coldzera still alive on the site, opening himself up to multiple angles, though, so he will get punished, but it's still a man advantage here for MIBR. Shouldn't lose track of this situation.
It doesn't feel like these pistols can be too much of a threat. They haven't been able to pick any of the drop weaponry. And the bomb is down in a fantastic position if you are an MIBR fan.
Curious. Yeah, exactly. Lekro looking to just pounce on Fallen here. Fallen, does he realize? Never mind. I'm like, does he realize that Lekro could be sneaking up on him? Yes, in fact, he does.
4 steps ahead. 1 round to go. And here is that money situation right now. The $2,400 loss bonus will come into the back pocket of the ninjas in pajamas, but
again,
just a force buy. That's all they can do, right? It can only be pistols with utility. That's all you can do. Especially on the T side. Like, you don't want to be buying Galils with no armor or any of that nonsense. You need to invest in the pistols. You need to invest in utility.
UMP, Kevlar, no helmet, smoke.
Yeah,
along those lines. I mean, if you wanted to get fancy, maybe. I like how my tone of voice is just trailing off as I realized, like, no, that's probably not going to happen here.
See, like maybe one player could have gotten away with that, right? But that's it. Like maybe one or two. The fact is, they've just been absolutely schooled. The early stages of that first half from MIBR was fantastic with the fakes. It drew out rotations. They really made the most of the low utility on the side of NIP. And then later in the piece, Fallen must have heard me, because they just needed to hit those bomb sites to have that trick up their sleeve. And this could be the last round. Molotov as a defensive weapon will be deployed. Fallen now will have vision come in. Stewie aggressive as usual. Fallen gets one. Stewie eventually gets the other. Last 3 players onto the A-bomb site with Swag waiting.
Patiently. Oh, there's the headshot. Could have got it. That'd have been big. Stewie's there to back him up, though. But Swag needs no help. Get out of my face.
Give him the kills.
It's a feel-good moment for Swag. Tarek is going to get in there and rob him. Takes one of those kills. But it will be Swag with 2. 16-6, the final score between MIBR and NIP. Well, so MIBR saving themselves a little bit. Cool. In the end.
Yeah, quick as you like it. But we're going to get into a little bit more action. We're going over to the C stream where you can be watching the likes of Astralis versus Na'Vi, an absolute banger of a matchup. So check this one out.
kills because Astralis had an aggressive Hall setup, which you so rarely see now on CT side, and then they got 2 kills off of that. And then Simple made the smartest play ever after his teammates probably called for him that 3 were spotted in Halls, walked his way into Arch, immediately backstabbed 2 players in B, and caught them off guard. Not something you see every day, especially with a team like Astralis. So I think this game is far from over, even though Astralis are slightly in the lead.
Benefit of Simple just cleaning the previous round so quickly, of course, that 3 of Astralis' members walk away alive. Still got that heavy utility at the minute mark, and again, for those of you guys just coming in, Na'Vi have played it down to the wire in multiple rounds already. This could be another. Despite being so close to the A site, they've lost the bomb over the shoulder. Simple's caught. Zeus preoccupied with flashbangs, and Dupree comes in for another quick sweep. Just like he did in the last round. You know, striking at those opportune moments. Now those moments waning thin. 35 seconds left. Device misses a crucial shot, and Zeus is going to capitalize on it. He knows there's another in library. Bomb's still not picked back up, but the kills come back in for Na'Vi. 30 seconds. They have to move forward, and there's only 2 defenders left to take. A lot of this pressure falls on Magisk. He's floating around these positions, but as the flames go out, he's got a perfect chance to catch a couple kills. The flash was there to help. Yet, he finds neither. Those last 2 players have to run in, and it is utterly denied. 13-9, Astralis with a 4-round lead.
Yeah, and they got a bit discombobulated in those last few moments. There was a moment where Magisk was without utility and would normally smoke the Molotov that lands exactly there, and had to move out to the left side, so knows that he was completely naked, in line of sight of exactly where Na'Vi wanted to push him into. But they took so long to get up after that, because the flashes were so good in response, that Magisk could fall back into pit, and then eventually get those 2 kills. So Astralis win another round off of stopping an A hit this time around, and keep the setup dynamic at A. Last round we saw very unique kind of Hall setup with 3 players, and this time it was more of a standard type of round, but still somewhat aggressive. Yeah, Xyp9x has had a questionable performance in this map so far. I think that will only matter if we come to the situation where Na'Vi take the map. I mean, that's the only time it really matters, at least in my eyes. But we've seen him lose some kind of engagements that he seemed fully prepared for so far. And so I definitely wonder how he's feeling.
I'd say as well, I cannot, in my mind, remember him being in a clutch situation either. I feel like a lot of his demise has come in the openings of rounds. So it's not like he's not doing what he normally does well.
Right.
He's just not getting into those kinds of impactful positions. Yeah. And the rest of Astralis around him, they're still good to rock and roll. It's really been the Magisk and Dupree show for the time being.
So will this be a T-sided affair on Banana, where both teams do really well on Banana? It's Astralis to kind of give it up here, even with a lot of utility, significant firepower advantage. Maybe that's why they're more worried about a rush than anything else. It's actually kind of a force up here for Na'Vi. Very little